As Alan Mountney.
He might be, isn't
straight through.
Yes.
It looks like a drive-through.
Now, what's interesting about that to me is that I was told before the start that he was going to start from the back because...
Full course yellow. We've had a huge shunt. And it's the same place as last year. A huge shunt.
Trenton S-step is involved.
It's through the S's and it's the front of the field. And a huge conflagration. It's got to be at least 10 or a dozen cars. Could see Jeff Mosing's car in there. It's one of the brighter coloured machines.
Or if Fadani also pulls to a stop.
Red flag.
Yeah.
Red flag. As now the gold class cars will come upon this in a moment. Here they come across the line now. And no option but to stop the race with the track pretty much blocked by debris. And this is exactly the issue that we had here last year. I was just praising everybody.
They need to stop the cars. Just stop the cars. That's what they need to do.
They shouldn't be driving through this.
No.
There's
no need to drive
8
through.
or 10 cars at least involved there. This is going to be a lengthy stop. A lengthy stop. Remo Rossetti is involved.
Trenton S-step's car is absolutely destroyed. The front end of it.
Jeff Mosing, Mark Cavami, all involved. Tillman, Balajet, Harvey. I'm just looking at the cars that aren't moving. There's bits of suspension and bodywork. There's parts of Porsches that we don't want to see on a racetrack that are on a racetrack. You want to see them on a part shelf or in the back of a truck, not on the racetrack. And the rescue vehicles and recovery vehicles are down there, and everyone else coming into the pit lane as they should do. This will be a restarted race if we get it restarted. Got to say that. Remo Rossetti out of the car. He was getting a little bit of a help there. The 69 car is missing a right front wheel assembly. The emergency vehicle's going down to the first corner. And Ori Fadani out of his car and over the 3-lane Armco. He's got out there on his own recognizance. One or two of the drivers saying, what happened there? I've got no clue. Did you turn me around? I didn't turn you around.
Good to see Trenton getting out of the Hertz car there.
Yeah.
Because there's not much left of the front end of that JDX Racing entry.
He's having trouble getting the door all the way open, and he's needing a little bit of a help. Yeah, he's had a bit of a bang around. Very fast down there. And has unplugged himself from the radio. And the team's all out on the pit lane, looking down that way and seeing who's coming back into the pit lane. And it is a much reduced field as the rescue vehicles come the wrong way down the track. It's another good reason for stopping cars, of course.
At least 7 cars involved.
Yeah.
Or that haven't made it past there, at least. I think there are some others involved as well that managed to...
I think we're probably in double figures.
Yeah.
Top racing machine there that isn't going any further. None of those cars, all of the cars that have stopped are in bad shape. Remo Rossetti's car, the 69 car, one of the...
Jeff Mosing.
Canadian cars. Jeff Mosing is out of the Mosing Motorsports top racing car, and he looks like he might be in a bit of pain. When you come to a dead stop, even when you're in the seat with the multi-point harness on, you get a bit of a jar. Well, and they'll have been winded at the very least.
And that's a very fast part of the racetrack.
Yes, it is.
Now with the repave absolutely flat out through turn 2 and up through the S's, where it would appear that we don't know what happened. We haven't seen what happened, but I believe that Trenton S-step and Remo Rossetti were running close together, certainly as they came across the line to complete what had been their first lap of racing. And then as they went up the hill, whatever happened, there was a concertina effect on a whole bunch of cars. There's absolutely nowhere to go because through those S's there,
it's like a
you've got the
track.
Barriers. Yeah, it is. You've got the barriers
track
on either right, absolutely against the side of the racetrack, and there is no way to take any evasive action whatsoever. You go from the left-hand side of the road to the right, and then back to the left again, and it's just a funnel, isn't it? It's
a beautiful start. Everybody got away perfectly. Jake Edson and Scott Hargrove have come round. Zach Robichon, Will Hardeman, McKay Snow, Anthony Imperato, Corey Fergus, Michael De Quesada. It's behind those first two. Well, okay, it was the issue.
It was Fadani, it was Rossetti and S-step that got together.
And then it's it's a chain reaction.
Yeah, and several cars directly behind him managed to get through remarkably.
Side-by-side contact with the first two, and everybody from 7th or 8th down is involved after that, and how anybody gets through, I don't know. Arifidani got partially through. The 50 car gets through with damage underneath. And it's right at the top of the S's, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just you're coming out.
Just at the crest of the hill there, I think, probably, isn't it?
First two go in drivers left, and then there's a chain reaction. There's a chance for somebody to get through. It's a white, mainly white car that lost it sideways. Was that the 34? Was that further back? And there's still people piling in at full speed. I think the problem as well there, Jeremy, is it's in between flag stations.
Yes.
And you're coming up over the top of the brow, and you've actually got yellow flags waving beyond the accident, when there could be a green there, actually. You wouldn't have been wrong to see a green at the one beyond the accident, but you're coming up over the top of the rise, and I'm not sure that the guys behind would have known what was going on, even though the yellow flags would have gone out at all the marshal stations, at all the flag stations. No criticism implied or meant, by the way, at all, but I just think that was in the place. It's a perfect storm of a perfect bad storm in the case of where it is and where the flag stations are.
It is, and you're absolutely committed at that point in a racetrack. You're concentrating on your racing line, going through down at the bottom of the lowest part of the track there before you start going uphill through the S's, and you're picking your line, you're focusing on your line, you're looking several cars in front of you, probably, if you can, but on the first lap there's cars all over the place. In any case, there's Arifidani making his way back as well. Good to see him at least on his feet, and an okay car, unfortunately not quite so much, but his car didn't look quite as bad as quite a few of the other ones, but it'd be disappointment for Ori, certainly. He'd got a good run going there as well.
Yeah, one of the cars that got through somehow, and I have honestly got no idea how, was, I think, David Baker's car, the 56 car. Stand to be corrected on that. But there was trailing debris underneath that, and this is going to be a very, very long clean-up.
Yeah, massive amount of debris.
And in fact, the race clock has been reset, so it will be a full restart as it stands at the moment. We had just completed the end of the first racing lap, so that's absolutely correct from as far as the regulations go. Let's see if we can... Well, another incident as well in the gold category, and that's the 10 car that lost it. Now, that's on the other side of the circuit, and that's Frank Razzo who went around. We saw, didn't we, earlier on, the 99 car going into turn 1, Alan Mentney in the Kelly Moss Road and Race 99 car spinning on the oil dry. There was already some dirt on the road. Alan, and I think your assessment of it, Jeremy, was spot on. Left side Yokohama's was on the oil dry and just got him crossed up a little bit. But that wasn't the cause of the incident. This major incident that we have that has stopped the race. There are still some cars out there, including Frank Razzo is the next car in the queue, as the gold cars, I think, will be turned around and sent contra race back to the start. Jeff Mosing, of course, second in Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge in ST, just a point away from first. He's got to do 45 minutes in that race tomorrow, or he'll get no points. Now, Eric Foss won the championship solo a few years ago when Jeff missed a round and was third in the championship. Yeah, and they are turning cars around to get them back into the pit lane. Racing drivers being asked to do 3-point turns on a tight part of the circuit. The amount of rubber that is left on the road bearing testament, Jeremy, to how far back people have locked up and still got involved in the accident. And again, where is the flag post there? No flag post in sight from the top of the brow to the impact zone. And
no, but as I say, you're
committed anywhere.
Yeah,
you're committed anywhere, and you are absolutely flat to the floor coming over the top of there. You have to be, because otherwise you just lose all the momentum down the straight.
Yeah. Oh, and with the resurface here, it's easy flat out, I believe, through turn 2 and up the hill now in these cars. So they're probably doing 115 miles an hour, perhaps even more than that. Probably more than that, actually.
52 car just having a bit of a problem turning round, that being Kurt Fasikas in that very dark blue stroke purple colour.
And Kurt was one of the guys who was involved in a wreck which happened to, what,
100 metres further down, down the track.
Further back down the track.
Yeah, I thought
two.
It was the same sort of area when I first saw it, Jeremy, when we first saw it happening, but it's a little bit further up the track. Sebastian Landy already been talking to his team, and Terry Borchela of Motorsport Ministries is his spotter this weekend. Perhaps a bit of divine intervention there, or certainly a guardian angel job done by Too Tall Terry. Not sure what he could have told him that would have got him through there, and what he could have seen any quicker than the driver. One or two cars still coming around. Terry tweeting that he picked the hole, I just assisted, which I think is a good way to look at it. So we'll get a few more cars back into the pit lane. 78 coming back as well, and that car looks in fine fettle. That's Roman De Angelis, the Mark Motors racing car, leading the Gold Cup category. Now he's really pleased he didn't start where he qualified, because if he had done, he would have started 14th and been right in the middle of that. But he started at the front of the Gold Cup field, not where his time put him.
That's a very good point.
And that might have just saved his championship right there.
Certainly saved the car
for this weekend. Now, I still reckon we've got the sharp end of double figures cars involved in that. We'll get a proper look when everybody gets back to the pit lane and start giving you some more numbers. Unfortunately, the other part of that part of the circuit is that the Armco is so very high, and the timing screen has just been completely reset with everybody on it. But I've got a feeling that we're looking at back from